and welcome to the next installment of your 30-day DTI challenge. Now in today's video, we're going to be going over where you've been and also where you'll be going. We're going to give your conscious mind the layout of the DTI process. And it's very important to keep in mind that the protocol that we're teaching you here, this is really the foundation, the first step of a complete DTI experience. As we talk about in our book, Deep Trance Identification by Sean Carson, myself, Jess Marion, and John Overdurf, there's a lot more out there, and a complete DTI process can take weeks, if not months. Not only that, there's a lot of different varieties of techniques that we just don't have time to cover in these videos. However, going forward, with this process, you will have a step-by-step guide to doing really powerful deep trance identification work. And of course, especially if you'd like to continue on this journey or facilitate this for your clients if you happen to be in any type of coaching, therapy, or hypnosis profession, to go ahead and check out the book. There's a lot more fantastic information and techniques out there. But for now, let's just take a moment to consider everything that you've accomplished so far. You've chosen your model. You've gotten your specific context in which you'd like to change or to improve skills. You found the model that's correct for you. You used a pendulum to ensure that the unconscious mind is on board for the DTI process. From there, you learned about building rapport, using gestures, breathing, and also speaking with the model to create a deep sense of connection between your unconscious mind and the representation of the model that your unconscious mind has. You've built an events matrix where you found the key moments in your model's life that highlights how they developed their beliefs and values, instances where they learned their skills, and those important moments where they refined those skills, where they took those skills, improved on them, and took them out to the greater world. You got the environment, the behaviors, the states, the beliefs, the values, the identity, and beyond identity of your model in those particular instances, the logical levels. You also discovered the power of dream incubation to help lay out a roadmap for the unconscious mind in the DTI process, to the extent that you begin to use your dreams at night as a part of the DTI experience. You will be setting deep roots of new learning and generating positive change in your life. Now, from there, you discovered perceptual positions, the different stances you can take as a part of the DTI process. First position in your own shoes, second position in somebody else's shoes, third position dissociated, and fourth position about the space in between yourself and the model, or the space between the model and other people in their environment. So now it's time to go ahead and begin to put all of these things together to create the powerful deep trance identification experience for you. Shawn.
So we'll talk you through the steps of doing a simple deep trance identification. And for this, you're going to have to refer to your journal. You're going to have to know who your model is, which I presume you do by now, what that key gesture or facial expression or posture or physiology of the model is. You're going to have to know how to go into rapport with the model through breathing and through speaking to the model. You're going to have to be familiar with the events matrix, both the events and the logical levels which apply to those events. And you're going to be familiar with the idea of perceptual positions. So the first step of a deep trance identification, of course, is to go into trance. I'm sure most of the people watching the video are familiar with how to go into trance. If not, we will include a video to show you a little bit of self-hypnosis. So the first step will be to go into trance. If you've got a partner, if you're working with a partner, that's fantastic. They can lead you into trance. Once you're in trance, to go into the presence of the model, maybe at the LF point or at some place where you meet the model, and to take a look at the model and to begin to match the breathing of the model, and to look out for that gesture or facial expression that is key to the model. Once you've begun to match their breathing and you feel the rapport, then you're going to ask your model for the permission to do the deep trance identification with them. Now, at that stage, you're going to go to the first event in your event matrix. So you can imagine perhaps you're seeing a movie screen and you watch that first event as if you're in the audience watching the movie screen, so that you know what that event is, you're clear as to what is taking place in that event. Once you've watched the movie once, you can then float into the scene and you can become the butterfly on the wall. You can move into third position, so you're actually in the scene and you can watch the action take place again. From there, you can actually float into the model, associate in, so you're looking out of their eyes, seeing what they see and hearing what they hear and feeling what they feel, and you can let the action play out again, experience that scene from the inside. And as you do that, it's not just a case of seeing what's going on and hearing what's going on, it's also a case of feeling what the emotional state of the model is from the inside, and noticing what the model is believing about themselves and the world around them from the inside, and noticing what's important to the model from the inside, and who they are as a person from the inside. And you can run that experience as many times as you want to until you really have a feel for all those levels from the inside. Now once you've done that, you can move back to be the butterfly on the wall, back to third, and you can watch the action again. You may find you get a new appreciation for the action. Once you've seen that scene again, you can move into fourth. Now fourth means to pay attention to the space in between the model and everything else. Now what kind of things does that mean? It could be, if you're doing a DTI with Milton Erickson, it could be the space in between Milton Erickson and his client. How does that interaction work? It could be the space in between, if you're doing a DTI with a musician, the musician and his instrument, the musician and the instrument and the audience. So it's the interaction, the space in between all the elements of the system. When you've done that, you can float back into third, back into the butterfly on the wall, watch the scene again, and you may find that you have a even deeper appreciation of the scene. And from that place, you can make a decision. What is it about that experience that I want to take back with me? And what do I not want to take back? And this comes down to the old story of Gilligan, who's doing deep trance identification with Milton Erickson, and he takes all the experience back, and as a result he gets a frozen arm, which is a symptom of Milton Erickson's childhood polio. Well, he didn't need to take that back to be a great hypnotist. So from the butterfly on the wall position, you could make a decision. I don't want the physical symptoms that Milton Erickson has, I just want his skills in terms of trance induction, let's say. So you make a decision, what do I want to take, what do I want to leave, and you then go back into first, you float back into yourself, taking only what you want to take back, and then you can end that trance. And you can do each scene in your event matrix. You can do them all at the same time if you want, or you can do them one by one. Just do one scene, take a break, do the next scene the next day or the next week, space them out over time. So that's the process for your deep trance identification, and we'll lead you through the process in the next installment. Thank you very much. That's all we've got time for, so we'll see you in the next video.